There are nights where the world feels unusually quiet. That kind of quiet doesn't bring peace, but rather a strange heaviness. You could feel it in your chest, in your thoughts, and in the way you wonder what it all means. On those nights, it's easy to feel like you're the only one who feels this way, feeling like you're the only one unsure whether you're living or just existing. We talk about living as if it's something everyone naturally knows how to do. But what does it really mean to live? Is it just breathing, eating, sleeping, and repeating the same patterns until time runs out? Or is there something more to it? Something that gives meaning to the act of waking up every day? Sometimes life doesn't feel like living at all. Sometimes it feels like surviving. When you wake up, you do what you have to do. You try to keep up with expectations, and you tell yourself you're fine even when you're not. You smile at people, laugh at their jokes, pretend everything is normal, but deep down inside, you know something's missing. And the scariest part is not knowing what that something is. For a lot of people, it's not one big tragedy that breaks them down, but instead, it's the slow, quiet weight of existing without feeling alive. The kind of exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix, and the kind that makes you tired not because of what you've done, but because of what you've had to carry. You keep trying, but it feels like the world keeps on throwing more and more at you. And after a while, the thought creeps in. What's the point? The question, what's the point, has crossed our minds at least one time throughout our lives. Whether it's quiet or loud, it's a dangerous question, but it's also an honest one. Because deep down, we all want to know that there's a reason to keep going, even when everything hurts. We want to believe that the pain will eventually mean something and that it's shaping us into someone who's stronger, wiser, and more capable of love and purpose. Shakespeare once wrote, "To be or not to be? That is the question." He wasn't just talking about life and death. Instead, he was questioning the value of existence itself, whether it's better to endure the pain and chaos of life or to give into the silence that waits beyond it. And even though that line was written hundreds of years ago, people still ask the same thing today, just in a more quiet and more personal way. To live or not to live? Maybe the question was never really about dying, but about whether we're willing to keep living even when it hurts. Whether we could keep finding reasons to stay, even when the world gives us every reason to stop. The truth is, life isn't kind all the time. It's not always fair, beautiful, or inspiring. Sometimes it's dull, sometimes it's painful, and sometimes it makes no sense at all. But those are the moments that test us, and the moments that quietly ask whether we're willing to keep moving forward. It's easy to live life when things are good. It's easy to be grateful when everything works out. But living truly is what builds character and shapes who we are and happens when life is uncertain. When you don't know what tomorrow brings, or when you're scared, lost, or even alone. But even so, you still choose to try again anyway. Choosing to live life doesn't mean you have to have everything figured out. It doesn't mean you have to be happy all the time or know exactly where you're headed. Sometimes living just means deciding not to give up today. It means waking up even when you don't feel like it. It means giving yourself another chance even when you feel like you've failed too many times. There's this unspoken expectation that life should always make sense, that everything should eventually click, but the truth is, it rarely does. The world doesn't owe us any clarity or comfort. What it gives us instead are small, quiet moments where we could find meaning even in the chaos. Maybe it's the sound of rain on your window, maybe it's the way someone laughs at your joke, or maybe it's the sunrise after a long night. Those small things don't fix everything, but they remind you that not everything is broken. When you're in the middle of pain, it's hard to believe it will ever end. You'll tell yourself that this is how it's always going to be, but time has a way of changing things, even when you're not paying attention. One day you'll look back and realize that the person you were when you were breaking is the same person who learned how to heal. You'll see how the pieces came together in ways you've never expected, and you'll understand that even though life hurt you, it also shaped you. The decision to keep going isn't always loud or brave. Sometimes it's so quiet that no one else even notices. It's you getting out of bed, it's you sending that one text instead of isolating yourself, it's you forgiving yourself for being human. Those moments may seem small and insignificant, but they're proof that you haven't given up, even when you wanted to. And that's something you should be proud of. Everyone's path looks different. Some people find peace early, others spend years searching for it. Some find meaning in love, others in art, and others find it in simply existing. There's no right or wrong way to live, but there is your way. What matters is that you keep showing up for it, Because every day you wake up is a chance to start again, a chance to do one small thing differently, a chance to feel something new. You might not see it yet, but all those small chances add up. Every decision to stay, to breathe, to keep moving, it all ends up building a foundation. It helps create a version of you that's stronger than the one before. And one day you'll realize that the strength you were looking for was being built in every moment you refused to quit. It's okay to be tired, it's okay to feel lost, and it's okay if you don't know where you're going right now. You don't need to have a perfect plan, you don't need to be at your best every day. What matters is that you're still trying, because trying means you still believe, even if it's just a little. And sometimes that little belief is enough to keep you moving forward. Life won't always make sense, but it will always move. The seasons will change, people will come and go, and time will carry you forward whether you want it to or not. The question that stands is, will you choose to move with it? Will you choose to keep going even when you're scared? If you're listening to this right now, maybe you're in one of those quiet battles no one knows about. Maybe you're tired of pretending, tired of hoping, and tired of waiting for things to get better. And maybe you've started to think that it's never going to. But I want to remind you that that's not the truth. It's just how pain feels when you're still inside of it. Pain makes everything feel permanent. It makes you forget how temporary emotions can be, but nothing stays forever. Not even sadness, confusion, or loneliness. They all pass slowly but surely, the way night turns into morning. You just have to hold on long enough to see the light again. And I know it's easier said than done, but the fact that you're still here right now means you've already survived everything that once felt impossible. Every dark day, every heartbreak, every doubt, you've made it through all of them. And that's not weakness, but instead it's strength. You've come too far to give up on yourself now. There's still more waiting for you. There's still more laughter, more love, and more peace than you can ever imagine. You might not see it yet, but that doesn't mean it's not there. You just haven't reached that part of the story yet. So when the nights get heavy and the silence gets too loud, remember this. You're not behind, you're not broken, but you're still becoming. Every step you take, no matter how small, is progress. And as long as you keep going, you're living. To live or not to live? That's the question we all face at some point. But the answer isn't always found in perfection or clarity. It's found in the simple, stubborn act of trying again. In the willingness to see what tomorrow might hold, even when today hurts. So tonight, give yourself permission to rest. Not to quit, but just to rest. Take a breath, close your eyes, and remind yourself that the world hasn't seen the best of you yet. You still have chapters left to write, people left to meet, and moments left to experience. Maybe tomorrow will be hard, maybe the next day too, but someday you'll wake up and realize that the heaviness has lifted. You'll look back at this version of yourself, the version of you who stayed. And as you look back, you'll be proud, because you didn't give up, even when it would have been easier to. And maybe that's what it really means to live. It's not about chasing perfection or pretending everything's fine, but instead, it's staying long enough to see the light break through the cracks. To live is to keep choosing yourself again and again and again, even when it hurts to. So if today feels heavy, that's okay. Just promise yourself you'll stay. One more sunrise, one more step, one more day. Because someday that one more will become the moment everything changes. Sorry for not posting in a month, guys. School's busy and like life and stuff like that. But like, trust me, if you subscribe, I will be back to posting normally. And I'll see you until next time. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.